This is the Spotlight segment. Stay tuned for premium interviews, device unboxing, and more.
Up next, we're spotlighting on the new TalkBack version 14.2. Who would like to get us started with this brand new TalkBack 14.2? I do regret, however, although it's not a regretting thing, but Samsung at least has the 14.1 in the 6.1, One UI 6.1. So they're getting closer. I wish that we could just be on the same page. We've been singing this song forever, infinitum, and nothing has changed. But Samsung always one version behind Pixel. Did everyone get the 14.2? John, I know you got it. I got it. Sally, you got it. And Karen, did you guys get it?
Not yet here. I downloaded the version for 30 minutes maybe from APK Mirror. I did the 30 minutes testing. I wasn't able only to test the stuff related to image description because they were not allowing me to download the image description data and the icon description. So yeah, but I returned back now to the 14.1 until the update is available. But I can say that I knew from others that in Europe, in parts of Europe, the update was available. So yeah, I think many people are starting to get it. I assume that next week everyone would be getting the update.
For me, I also didn't receive the update yet, but I think it's on its way very soon because some countries already received it, as Karine said. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, so I got it, and a lot of people have gotten it as well. So, like Karen says, I think next week everyone should be just about getting it. Yeah, so let's talk about some of the things that are new features. There's a little bit of a better image description, if you call it better. I don't know if it's any better necessarily. I don't know. Comparing it to 14.1, I think that the only difference, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what is different. But
I'll explain what's different.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Different, not better, because the actual descriptions are just as good or bad, whatever you want to call it, as they were before. I think the text description is really good, but I think the image description is really bad, and I think the icon description is okay. But whatever you think about those, you're going to continue to think the same thing about those, because that's not what's changed is the actual description. What's changed is the implementation of it. So before, you could choose whether or not you wanted each of those, being icon, image, or text description. You could choose whether you wanted them on or off. And now there's a third option called on when item is unlabeled, or something along those lines. And that's actually what in 14.1 was the behavior when it was turned on. So when it was turned on in 14.1, it would describe unlabeled items only. And I think they've made it so that now when you have it turned on in 14.2, it will always describe the item, even if it's not unlabeled, so that if you're going through like a camera roll or something, if you're going through pictures and it's telling you like the date the picture was taken, that's technically labeled, because it's a date. So previously it wouldn't automatically describe the image to you because it had a label. So now you can have it turned on all the time so that after it's done reading the label of the image, it will actually read the image description to you. But you might not necessarily want that turned always on for other situations, like icons. For example, you don't want it to say, describe the icon even if it has a label, because, for example, if you have icon description always on, even when the item is labeled, it would say something along the lines of navigate up button, icon detected, left arrow, and that's a bit much. So for icons, you might want to have it set to only when unlabeled. So basically, they're giving you more granular control of how you want each of those 3 types of descriptions to behave and when you want them to automatically or not automatically describe them to you. And of course, you can trigger all 3 with a gesture or by going into the TalkBack menu and selecting describe image at any time.
Exactly. And so that's the changes. I kind of like the implementation. And if it works right, this is a good implementation, because if you turn it, say, describe all or say all, then it would even, like, say you're on your home screen and say you come across an icon, for example, that says maybe tune in radio. And then it will say tune in radio and then text tune in radio. So that means you've turned all 3 on. And so I like the way they implement it. So you have to skip those if you don't want to hear, redundancy and stuff like that. So the only thing that we wish it would happen better is the image description, that we have a fuller description of the image than what we have. So maybe one of these, maybe next week, John or I could do this as a TalkBack highlight and then really show you what we're talking about. But so that's what it is that we have in the new TalkBack 14.2.
There's also now you can go into this TalkBack settings and then go into the sounds portion of the settings, sounds and vibrations. And you can adjust, there's 2 sliders in there now for adjusting your reading speed and accessibility volume. So, obviously you can already adjust these 2 things on the fly using either reading controls or just by putting your finger on the screen and hitting the volume keys. But, if you want to go in the settings and do it, now you can. So that's, I guess, a new feature. And then I don't use a Braille display, but they have added new Braille display commands, but I'm not sure exactly what they are. Do you know what they are, Warren, or anybody else?
Yeah, so the Braille display thing, really, they've done a good job at doing that, because they have more languages and things like that. Because sometimes some people want a different language or maybe a different Braille input. It was kind of very limited earlier on, but those guys have done a really good job by implementing or bringing in more tables. So, I mean, we have maybe like 6 different languages you could use. We even have Indian Braille. I'd never seen what Indian Braille looks like. I wanted to, enable that to see what it is like, but I didn't. But at least we have some of those things in there. So if you prefer, using computer Braille, or you prefer using the regular 6-dot Braille, or 8-dot Braille, or UK Braille, and all of that, like I said, there's even the Indian Braille in there. So we have those things in there now that people can take advantage of. And so if you have a Braille display, you can take advantage of that. And if you only use the virtual Braille, the one that I don't use often, John, you tend to use that a lot. I think we have better behavior now with the virtual Braille display, don't we? I mean, virtual Braille input, rather.
I don't think anything's changed in this version as far as Braille input. In 14.1, we got much better spell check, but nothing's changed in this version. But
that's what I was thinking of. The spell checking that came in 14.1, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
Since we've mentioned spell check, and since they've also mentioned this as a new feature, I think we have to touch on it. They say that TalkBack can now proofread, so they'll get grammar corrections as well as spelling corrections when you do what used to be called spell check. But just to be clear, all that's happening here is they have renamed the reading control from spell check to proofread to make it more accurately describe what's happening, because Gboard for a few, or I'm not sure if it's Gboard, but whatever service Google is using to do the spell checking, it has actually been doing proofreading as well for a few months now. So even though it was called spell check, it was also checking grammar. So they've basically renamed that to more accurately describe what it's doing.
I think that's a good idea because the proofreading is not just only your spellings. You have a horrible speller like me, but then also it checks the grammar as well. So that's a good thing. It's taking it from Gboard. So I'm glad to see this tight integration going on. So things that we have in Gboard kind of spilling over here to TalkBack. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but it's better to say that we have renamed the spell check to let it reflect the feature more or something like that. Not to claim that it is now able to check grammar and that, whereas it was able to do it even in 14.1, and I was able to test it actually. I tested with the same text and I was able to get the same spelling suggestions and the same thing. So in fact, it was the same behavior. So I think it's better people in saying that, okay, we have renamed this, and to state that as a new feature, but just to clarify that it is just the rename of the already available feature.
So I look at it this way, Karen. It's like Karen, doing her makeup in the morning. It's still the same Karen, but kind of a prettier Karen in the morning with the makeup on. So I hear what you're saying, but yeah, we got it. So I think the most important
Okay,
thing.
should I come and say this is the new Karine, or call myself
Yeah.
another name or something?
Yeah, exactly. I think what it boils down to is this version did not have very many things new in it, actually. So I don't know if they wanted to manufacture features or what, but like Kareen said, they could have done a better job describing what is actually different, especially when it comes to the answering phone calls thing, because honestly, that's what confuses me the most. I don't know why that's in there.
Two-finger double tap to answer the phone call has been there for a while. I'm kind of beginning to wonder though, could it be because some of the VoIP apps were not behaving well with it? It could be that some of those things now take advantage of that. I don't know for sure. For example, I know it used to be for some reason you could answer Google Meet, good old Duo back then, with double tap with two fingers, and then it stopped working. I don't know if it's been fixed or not. I haven't tried it, to be honest. But I think that maybe part of the problem or part of the reason why it's called new may have to do with some of those things that we could not answer by double tapping. I know that Telegram is one of those culprits, and I don't know that if as we speak, if one could answer a Telegram call by double tapping. Has anyone tried it? Karen or Sally, have you tried? Well, you don't
Why
have
don't
it.
you call me right now and we could demonstrate it live.
Why don't I
No,
just call you right now?
it's not working when you
But
double
I
tap.
don't
It
think it's gonna
never
work.
works, honestly.
Let me try it. Hang on, guys.
Okay,
Let me grab
let's
my
debunk
phone.
this
Yeah.
theory right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
call
that's
you here.
debunked
Yeah.
in live. So
Who
let
will
me
bet
let
that
me
it will not work?
I bet it will not work.
Okay.
I'm positive it will not work, but just for giggles, let's see. Let me.
It's
Let,
always fun to do a live demonstration.
yeah, let me
Who's gonna call?
open Telegram. Can we hear my volume? All right. So I just got Telegram open up here, and John, I got a conversation between you and I. So I'm gonna try to call you, John. Can you get your phone? Let's see
Yeah,
if you can double tap to answer.
let me hold on. Don't call me yet.
Okay.
I forgot I had Do Not Disturb turned on.
John.
That call is in the more options, right? I'm not seeing it.
Okay, Do Not Disturb is off now.
I don't see a regular voice.
Video call is the one.
Huh.
You just have not
That's
turn
all.
your
We don't
camera
have a
on.
voice call. I thought we had a voice call.
They're the same thing now, I think.
All right. All right, so here I am. I'm going to try to call John on Telegram and see if he could answer it using a double tap.
Video call.
No, Warren, you don't need to
Back.
go to more options.
Ongoing Telegram call. Accessibility volume set to 50%.
John, it's not ringing. That says you are not online.
Okay, it's ringing.
Yeah,
I'm going to double
double
tap
tap. Yeah.
with 2 fingers. And I'm shocked. Nothing is happening.
Yeah, but it's a video call, so you should be fair and try the voice call.
Okay,
Okay.
we can just take that all again.
Switch
Okay.
off. John Dyer. John Dyer.
But I'm not seeing.
It's not in more options.
There it is. There it is. So here's call. This is a voice call.
Back button.
Okay, it's ringing. Warren
Yeah.
Carr incoming call. I'm gonna double tap with 2 fingers. And it's not answering it. So
I don't think it would, because it's the same thing. But we gave it the benefit of the doubt, right? Trying
Yeah.
both the video and regular voice calls. So I'm just going to end the call.
all right.
So we can tell that the double tap to answer is not working with some of these VoIPs. I think it's primarily maybe regular phone calls. And like I said, it used to work with Google Meet, but then after a while it wasn't working. I haven't tried that to be sure. So I can't say that with certainty that it does or does not. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, but here's a question. I don't know if anyone had tested that before. If you are having your Bluetooth earphones and you receive a Telegram call, are you able to answer the call using your Bluetooth earbuds?
I know that I had done so in the past, but frankly, I don't know, because these things keep changing. Sometimes also it's the app that changes some of these things and messes up our accessibility or whatever, the ease of answering calls and things like that. I haven't tried that in a while, to be honest with you. I can't say with certainty that I can hit the answer call on my headset to answer a Telegram call or not. I know I'm able to do that with Meet. I was able to answer that yesterday with one of my friends using my headset, but I can't say that about Telegram. And WhatsApp, I don't use WhatsApp.
WhatsApp is working unless you are on Android 14, and I think it's only with Samsung devices. There's a problem. When you try to use the gesture to answer calls, the accessibility gesture, it will not work, neither with G-Show nor with TalkBack. So I don't know what's the problem. On Android 13, there is no issue, only on Android 14.
That is so silly, because I feel like they should just TalkBack should just do whatever like headsets do, to answer. And it shouldn't really be an issue, but yeah.
Yeah, this is what I thought before. And actually, with Jisho, it's also the same. It is using the same method that is used in the headset stuff. But I don't know what's happening. I think that someone had told me that it's possible it is still possible to answer calls with the headset. I didn't try it myself, but they said that it works. So I think that something was broken with respect to accessibility. I don't know why that happened, actually.
And like I said, sometimes some of these things also come from the app itself. I mean, look at the kind of behavior that we have on WhatsApp that I hear my friends talking about. For example, if you're using a Braille display and try to type, as soon as you type a few characters, or maybe the first 2 characters, it jumps and puts you on the send button. You have to go touch the edit field again to be focused. So it is part of those things that I don't know why these things happen. It doesn't behave like that on Telegram, but it behaves that way on WhatsApp. So there's something on some specific apps that's also messing us up.
But with this one, there is no problem in G-Show. Okay, we don't use braille displays with G-Show, but the same but the problem regarding TalkBack that is focusing or talking about the send button happens also if you are not using a red display. And it is happening with TalkBack all of the time. However, with Visho, I don't have this problem.
Are you trying to tell me that if one is just using a keyboard, virtual keyboard, let's say Gboard, that happens too?
You will hear
I don't think
send
so.
button. After you type the first character, you will hear send button. It will not impact like the focusing. You will still be able to continue typing, but you will hear this send button.
Oh, I see. So that's a little different than with, yeah, because the way I understand it on with the Braille display, frankly, you wouldn't be able to type anything once it focuses on that send, because you physically see the send button highlighted, and you can't type anything at that point unless you move your finger back to the edit field. So I think there's something odd going on between WhatsApp and TalkBack here. WhatsApp, WhatsApp is one of those things that, one day they have something right, and the next time they've messed things up. Because I remember testing it maybe like last year. I don't use WhatsApp, but last year, Alan and I, the knucklehead, actually there were like 3 different ways of answering, just like on a phone. You could double tap, you could slide up, or you could tap the answer, and all 3 of those things work. I don't know if that is still the case with WhatsApp, because like I said, one day is nice and the next day it's broken. So it's like one day is chicken and next day is feathers.
And they have added the ability to end the call with the power button or the power button for a while. It was something nice, but then it was removed. So now you can't end the call with the power button.
That's what I'm talking about. WhatsApp is inconsistent. They need to be consistent, but what do we know, right?
Yeah, but it's still doing things better than Telegram, I think.
Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't use it necessarily, so I cannot compare WhatsApp and Telegram. I think that probably some of the problems that people have, and some of my friends that have it, is that when you try to record a voice message, and we know that happens in Telegram too, but with Telegram, at least if you just swipe from the edit field, and when you get to that record button and you double tap and hold, it's not going to get TalkBack talking into it. But I understand WhatsApp still does let TalkBack come through.
Again, this is a TalkBack problem, because TalkBack always talks when you are recording something. It happens with so many applications, including recorders. We don't have this issue in Show. So
Yeah,
it's a
but we're
TalkBack.
talking about TalkBack here with
Yeah, but it's a TalkBack problem. You can't blame WhatsApp for that, I think. Like, also the problem with granularity is like in TalkBack, when you try to read a message in Telegram character by character, you will not be able to do it. But in Jisho, everything is perfectly well.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it's just one of those things. I don't know. We'll always have this type of things going on unless someone finally figures out what to do with these things, or else it'll continue to be a problem.